I've just missed it by like 5 seconds. It was right there. One of those big monitor lizards, big 6-8 foot thing crossing the road. They do in Lumpini Park. Obviously in Lumpini Park it's a little bit of a tourist gimmick at this point, isn't it? Everyone wants to go there and take a picture. Here they're just casually crossing the road like old people. A comment the other day, God, I feel like you're always talking about this condo. Don't know if you've got a sponsorship deal or something with the condo. I think I've made a few videos talking about the different lifestyle that you can live just an hour away from Bangkok. This isn't one of those videos, but I am going to talk to you about this area. But I think the reason I make videos talking about this condo or the lifestyle you can live here is because this is where I live. This is where my life is nowadays. This is my life nowadays. The perks of being in Bangkok, so many places to go. I can hear it ruffling around. I'd be scared if it came out, to be honest. I don't know if they're dangerous. But if you actually look at the YouTube content from Bangkok YouTubers, oftentimes they don't go to very diverse places. It's very much the same sort of things. Let's go to Ekamai, let's go to Prompong, let's go to the malls, let's go to the parks. It's just my backdrop basically is what I'm saying. This area is my backdrop, and I like walking around by the sea on the promenade because I think it looks nice. Found this place because I was looking to move outside the city and I didn't want to move a million miles away. I think we'll make our way back towards the beach before I get attacked by a lizard. I wasn't necessarily looking at buying or investing. I was basically just looking for a condo the way you would look for a condo rental in any other place. One little interesting thing I noticed is, you know, these swanky condos, how they have a little model of the condo in the foyer and then little brochures. Obviously when you're looking to buy or invest in a condo, it's not just the actual room, the facilities, it's the surrounding area, it's the infrastructure around you that you're looking at. One of the things they're always talking about out here in this area is this new high-speed railway link between Bangkok, I think it's Utapao Airport. I've actually been to that airport. I've not physically been inside it, but I've been past the airport. It's close to Sattahip. If you imagine Phuket International Airport. Obviously Bangkok's a bit different because that's like an absolute wild airport in terms of the amount of people that are using there. But if you imagine Phuket, really busy in and around the airport itself, but then obviously the surrounding area is very quiet and peaceful, right? And then you obviously go off and you go on and venture to wherever it is you're going. Pattaya Airport, which is effectively the airport between Pattaya and Rayong, is neither of those things. It's absolutely dead. All this land, I'm going to talk about it in a moment. This airport seems effectively like there is an airport there, but then you literally go down, there's a big gate, there's a little model airplane, it says Utapao welcome, and apparently it's an international airport and there's going to be this high-speed railway service that is going to link it to Bangkok. The stops on the service is Sriracha City. If you've been there, you know it's not a big city, but it's about 10 minutes up there. I know there's some history behind why Pattaya is so popular and why it is the way it is. I also like those Facebook pages where they'll post historical pictures. So you'll see a picture, Pattaya 1982, and it'll just be a strip of beach with nothing, maybe a couple of small buildings. It's been like this type of building. And as you can see, that's my condo. There's a little condo complex next to it, a separate condo complex. But then if you look over here, there's nothing. Historically, I know a lot of people were traveling over from Vietnam during the war on their vacation. It was an easy port to access at that time, apparently. And obviously that's a little bit different nowadays. Nobody's arriving in Pattaya by boat, by sea, coming to Bangkok. But one of the reasons I feel like Pattaya is still very, very popular amongst tourists is the proximity to the city, the proximity to the airport. It's the easy place to go to in Thailand. You don't have to do any sort of onward flight. The connecting travel time in a taxi, you'll be there at the beach within 2 hours of arrival. And you look at Pattaya's coastline now, I know there's a few different beaches, but just hotels, condos, huge, massive development. And then you come to somewhere like this, an hour up the coast by car, less by boat, I guess, certainly less by train, by high-speed train. And you think to yourself, I wonder what the future holds for an area like this, an area that is relatively untouched thus far. Hotel right here, I've had family stay there. It's a very, very basic hotel, but I think what it offers is that seaside escape within an hour from the city. Privacy, that luxury element. There's not much going on in there, but it is a great little place if you just want to come for one night or 2 nights. I made a video a couple of weeks ago, come and see some nice blue water, take your Instagram pics. That's where I got the comment that I just talk about this place all the time, but it's true. You don't have to travel 2-3 hours if you're just looking for that 1 or 2 night escape. Maybe if you want something really nice, obviously you need to travel further afield, but if you're looking for something simple, take your partner, have a nice little break, a little refresh. This area at the moment is very nice, except for these depressing grey skies. And as we sort of come to the beach here, this is where any regular viewers, the 5 to 10 of you that watch these videos regularly, you'll probably recognize these scenes. Yeah, I do. I like walking down here. It's a beautiful place to walk, peaceful. This is one of the reasons why I left Bangkok, to be honest, is not just for this per se, but just to have this peacefulness. I know that my daughter can come play here, for example, at the beach, and she's going to be perfectly safe. See Racha over there? That is where the train station will be. Look at this. Look at this, literally right here. Completely undeveloped plot, right on the water. Is it the nicest beach? Is it the nicest water in the world? No, not really. But sometimes people, especially in this day and age, they're not going to swim in the water, right? They're going for the pictures. The sunset over there is stunning. There is potential to build resorts, condos, hotels, etc. along here. Now, do I think this is going to become the new Pattaya? No, of course not. I think Pattaya has firmly established itself as the superstar of this area. They did put more hotels along here, more condos along here. This is just 1 hour from Bangkok. Just to clarify, I've been told about this high-speed railway, and I've seen it as a sort of advertising feature in various condos, not just this condo, but various condos that I've looked at in this area. However, when you actually search it, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of movement on it. I don't know if I've missed something completely and there's been some sort of cancellation on the project, but I've seen articles from as far back as like 2018, 19 talking about it. Don't see that much construction going on. I know where the train lines are, and there is areas where it seems like they are clearing the land around the existing train lines. I don't know if that's for development or not, but yeah, there doesn't seem to be like heavy construction like you see in the BTS in Bangkok, for example. I think one of the signs of a massively developed city, in my opinion, having lived in Tokyo and in Seoul, Korea, is a massively developed transportation system. Subways, whether that be local trains, whether that be easy high-speed access to other cities. I'm not saying Thailand necessarily needs that. You can get a taxi from Bangkok to Pattaya for about 1,200-1,500 baht. But what I do think is if you improve access to the city, to the big boy city, to the airport, from some of these smaller cities, from some of these more local cities, it's going to give people more options. It's going to give people, you know, an alternative. Because I do think sometimes, especially us foreigners, we come out here and it's a bit scary to go off the beaten track, right? So we basically look where the vast majority of foreigners are, and that is where most foreigners end up settling. Dog's just licking its own balls. I feel like, you know, I'm invading his privacy there, but he's not actually a resident. Listen guys, no malice in referencing that comment. I thought it was a very valid comment. I do spend a lot of time on this route. Number one, it's because I live here, because I love it. But number two, I do think this is an interesting little area that you don't really hear much about. Everyone knows about Bang Sen and they know it as the locals beach. Oh, it's a really popular beach with the Thai locals, and it is, primarily it is. You see groups of foreigners there sometimes, but in terms of, you know, weekend visitors, it is mainly locals from the city. Racha, interesting little spot. It's not really a beach city. There's a little port there. There's a few parks right on the coast. There's some private houses there, literally looking out onto the water. They seem kind of old. They're luxury, they're nice. They've all got little swimming pools, but they seem kind of old and run down. And when you walk past them, hardly any of them seem occupied, maybe the odd one. But there is also a new water sports club here. There is what I think is an existing water sports club that seems to be very popular over there. At the weekend, you'll see people with jet skis with those parachute aeroplane things just flying by. I feel like this area is primed to become more than it currently is. And to be perfectly honest, I don't want that. I like it nice and peaceful. I like it the way it is, even though I keep talking about it. I want it to stay quiet. I want it to stay undiscovered. And in that case, it's good that my channel never seems to grow. It's all about self-mockery and don't take yourself too seriously, guys. Have a great day, have a great weekend. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.